Sumerian tablets are probably one of the oldest form of a written record that we have.
8 kings. 241,000 years. Not legends. Cataclysm etched them into stone. Alulim first on the list. Ruled for 28 millennia, longer than human civilization itself. Experts call it myth. But the Sumerians recorded these figures like tax receipts, cold, precise, absolute. Then something snapped. The math does not lie. Yet reality should not bend this way. The sequence reads like a mathematical impossibility. However, the numbers form a pattern, an anomaly, not a glitch. They sit like evidence under surveillance. AI now exposes the pattern. A terrifying, undeniable curve, a biological decay curve that only living things leave behind. If the evidence is undeniable, then ask the question, were these rulers even human? Or are we reading the genetic blueprint of something forgotten, decoded, and waiting to return? Clay, wedge, pressure. The Sumerians left no room for error. Each mark, a number. Each gap, a code. Cuneiform wasn't art. It was engineering. Their system ran on base 60, not 10. 60 seconds in a minute. 60 minutes in an hour. But for them, it was more than time. It was the blueprint for kings and gods. Researchers faced a wall of ambiguity. No zeros, no decimal points, just rows of tiny wedges. Pressed into the surface 4,000 years ago. A single slip, one wedge too close, one space too wide, and the number changed by thousands. The Sumerians used markers, SAR for 3,600, MU for years, Nigin for totals. But these were not always clear. Sometimes a king's reign was marked 2 Sayar, 3, 30. Was that 7,410 years? Or something else? Every line demanded a decision. Digitization began. Every exemplar catalogued. Weld-Blundell Prism, Nippur copy, Lagash variant. Each tablet a separate witness. Researchers transcribed the sexagesimal digits, flagging every ambiguous space, every missing marker. They built a conversion matrix, sexagesimal to decimal, marker to magnitude. Each entry scored for confidence, high, medium, low. No blind trust. The data pipeline ran strict. Original cuneiform, digital transcription, algorithmic parsing. No assumptions about units. Every figure annotated, every uncertainty logged. Administrative tablets from Ur and Babylon cross-checked the logic. Commodity counts, temple inventories, kingly reigns, all ran through the same base 60 machinery. Patterns had to hold across centuries. The result? A dataset stripped of human error, at least as much as possible. Each reign length, each dynasty, each cataclysmic break. Now numbers, not myth. The Sumerians demanded precision. The modern pipeline delivered it. But the numbers were not random. They clustered at impossible boundaries, multiples of 3,600, rigid, mechanical, like a code waiting to be cracked. A terrifying anomaly, a mathematical impossibility, a glitch in the story we thought we understood. Decoded, the ledger looked like surveillance data, not folklore. This is where the investigation pivots. The numbers read like a log, not exaggeration, not metaphor. A record, hidden, precise, undeniable. The ledger waits. The code waits. The question remains, who wrote it, and why was accuracy more important than myth? The algorithm did not care about myth. It did not blink at the numbers. It ran the data. Every reign, every dynasty, every decimal wrench wrested from the cuneiform mud. The control group came first. Legends from Egypt, Greece, China. Random reigns. Scattered points. No pattern. No curve, just noise. But the Sumerian king list snapped into place. Each reign length, plotted on a timeline, fell along a single, perfect arc. Not just a line, a decay curve. The same shape as radioactive half-life. The same math as population die-off. R squared equals 0.999. Statistical anomaly. No human hand could force chaos into that kind of order. The algorithm flagged it. The probability of random myth producing a biological decay curve is less than 1 in a million. Control myths failed. Babylonian epics, Greek genealogies, Norse sagas, everyone collapsed into scatter. But the Sumerian data fit a decay constant, a mathematical fingerprint. The reigns started high, tens of thousands of years. Each new king, a drop. The curve bent, then broke. After the flood, the numbers plunged. 1,200, 900, then a slow slide to normal. The math did not care about legend. It only cared about fit. No ancient forger could have hidden a decay curve in clay. No scribe could have faked a regression line across centuries and tablets. The numbers were too rigid, too clean. The algorithm did not argue. It delivered the verdict. This is not random. This is not myth. This is a log of something that lived, ruled, and then declined. The numbers are a record. The curve is a signature, and the signature is not human. The break is instant. The king list numbers do not taper. They fall off a cliff. Before the flood, kings rule for 28,800 years, 36,000, 43,200. The numbers are obscene. But after the flood, the numbers collapse. 1,200, 900, 400, then just 100. The drop is not gradual. It is a vertical wall, 99% erased in a single generation. Yet no other dynasty in history shows this kind of contraction. Not Egypt, not China, not Rome. Only here. This is an anomaly, an undeniable glitch in the record. A cataclysm encoded as numbers. The algorithm plots the curve. The line bends, then it snaps. The reigns shrink from mathematical impossibility to mortal. The scale is terrifying. 8 kings rule for 241,200 years. The next 10 rule for barely 7,000. By the end, a king's reign is shorter than a modern pension. The raw data is merciless. The flood is not just a story. It is a numeric event, a forced reset, a civilization's memory burned and overwritten. The king list does not explain. It just records the collapse. Numbers, stripped of myth. A 99% drop, encoded in clay. No warning, no transition. Just a gulf. The algorithm cannot find precedent. No human population, no royal line, no mythic genealogy elsewhere shows this kind of statistical annihilation. The Sumerians did not round down. They amputated. The numbers are a wound. The data does not blink. It only counts the missing years. Thorkild Jacobsen sits at the heart of the academic fortress. His verdict is simple. Symbolism. The numbers are not real. They are myth, cloaked in the language of administration. He points to the math. Multiples of 3,600. Round numbers. He calls it smoothing. Kings inflated to godhood. Reigns stretched to fit a sacred pattern. The flood, he says, is a literary device. The drop is a narrative tool. Jacobson sees scribes, not monsters. He trusts the clay, but only as poetry. The king list, he insists, is a mirror of what the Sumerians wished their world had been. Not a record, not a logbook, just a myth carved in numbers. But Zechariah Sitchin throws a grenade into the archives. He sees a cover-up. The numbers are not symbols, they are data. He points to the precision, the decay curve, the sudden drop. He says no human scribe could have engineered that pattern by accident. For Sitchin, the break is not a story, it is a scar. The flood is a genetic event. The rulers before are not human. He names them Anunnaki, engineers, not kings. The math is not myth. It is a record of biology. He accuses the mainstream of running interference, rewriting history to erase the impossible. Jacobson fires back. He calls Sitchin fantasy. Alien wish fulfillment for the gullible, he says. He compares the king list to the Epic of Gilgamesh. He says the numbers are as real as myth, yet the curve refuses to scatter. The numbers hold their shape. Sitchin refuses to blink. The debate calcifies. Symbolic smoothing versus alien logbook. Atmospheric shift versus genetic tampering. Each side arrives armed with numbers, but with different weapons. The text stands silent. The curve waits for a verdict. The cause of the drop remains unresolved. The king list is a crime scene. Motive, means, opportunity. But no confession, not yet. The argument continues, and the list keeps its secrets. Another set of numbers waits in the dust, this time carved into the bones of Genesis. Methuselah, 969 years, not a king, a patriarch. The Bible lists him at the peak. Then, one by one, the numbers slide. Lamech, 777. Noah, 950. After the flood, the drop accelerates. Shem, 600. Arphaxad, 438. The line does not drift. It falls. Brahmin, 175. Moses, 120. By the time the kings of Israel appear, the numbers are ordinary. No more centuries, just decades. But the shape is not random. Plot the ages against time. A perfect slope. The same curve as the Sumerian king list. Not a straight line, a logarithmic decay. However, the math holds across languages and across continents. Two cultures, no contact. The same statistical fingerprint. A peak at Methuselah, a sharp break at the flood, then a steady slide to mortal. The algorithm runs again. It ignores names. It ignores stories. It only sees numbers. The fit is uncanny. The Sumerian kings drop from 43,000 to 1,200. The patriarchs drop from 900 to 100. The slope matches. The decay constant. The rate at which numbers shrink lands within a hair's breadth. The odds of two mythologies invented centuries apart, producing the same mathematical curve. Astronomical. The data refuses to scatter. The Bible and the king list. Two data sets. One trajectory. Historians say coincidence, literary borrowing. But the numbers do not care about stories. They only care about fit. The algorithm sees no myth, no propaganda. It sees a record, a logbook of lifespans, broken by a single event. The pattern is undeniable. The Bible's ages are not random. They mirror the Sumerian collapse. The curve is the same. The wound is the same. The numbers do not lie. The decay constant is not a rumor, it is a number. Unyielding, universal. Decay is the clue. The Sumerian king list and the Genesis patriarchs share it. Different alphabets, different centuries, but the same mathematical fingerprint. Mathematical impossibility, and yet the match is undeniable. The algorithm plots the reigns side by side. The Sumerian curve falls. The Genesis curve mirrors. 2 lines, one in cuneiform, one in Hebrew, locked in sync. The drop rate is identical. The probability of this match by chance is vanishingly small. This is an anomaly, a statistical identity, not a coincidence. Scholars squirm. Some blame cultural borrowing. Others claim coincidence. But the raw data will not comply. The Sumerian list runs on base 60. The Genesis ages run on base 10. The units are different. The scripts are different. Yet the decay constant remains unchanged. The algorithm strips away language, culture, myth. Only the numbers remain. And the numbers are twins. The pattern is decoded, cold and clinical. The implications echo beyond archaeology. 2 civilizations, divided by time and geography, preserve the same wound in their records. Not just a story of kings, a record of something that decayed. Terrifying in its clarity. The match is too precise for comfort. The numbers do not care about origin myths or doctrine. They only care about the curve. The data points line up, indifferent to human explanation. Analysts whisper about a shared source, a single event, or a single blueprint copied across continents. The decay constant does not belong to Sumer or to Israel. It belongs to the thing that fell and then broke. Blueprint is the word they fear. The king list is not alone. The math is not local. The signature is global. The curve is a scar visible in every record that dares to count the years. This is not a comforting discovery. It is a hidden surveillance of history, a glitch in the story we tell about ourselves. The numbers stare back, undeniable and unsmiling. Decoded, they demand an answer. The phrase is not poetic, it is surgical. The cuneiform does not say kingship appeared or was chosen. It says it was lowered. In Sumerian, Nam lugal anta ed de'a. Each wedge is deliberate. Scholars argue over nuance, but some translate it as descended. However, others translate it as lowered down. Yet the verb is physical, not metaphorical. The same term describes lowering grain from a cart. It describes hauling a god statue down from a pedestal. Administrative tablets use it for moving inventory. There is no ambiguity in the grammar, no hint of allegory. The prologue of the king list opens with this word: before any king, before any city. Kingship was not born. It was not grown. It was not invented. It was delivered. Lowered from above. The text repeats the formula after the flood. Not restored. Not rebuilt. Lowered again. Footnotes in every translation flag this verb. No scribe improvises here. The phrase is a technical insertion, a signal. The Sumerians could have chosen any word. They chose the one that means a downward transfer. Something real. Something moved. The clay does not blink. It only records the drop. Silence. Not a single skeleton. Not a fragment of bone. The Sumerian king list names every ruler, 8 before the flood, dozens after. But the earth refuses to give up a single body. Archaeologists dig beneath the ziggurats. They sift the royal cemeteries at Ur, Kish, Nippur. They find graves, thousands of them, spears, jewelry, skulls. But none belong to a king who ruled for 28,800 years. Not one trace of a ruler who lived through the flood or watched the world reset. Weld-Blundell Prism lists reigns by the thousands, but the ground is mute. No mummies, no monuments, no genetic markers, just empty soil and broken brick. The expectation is physical. Reigns that long should leave a mountain of evidence. Tombs larger than pyramids, bones with signs of age beyond imagining. But the archaeological record is blank. Royal burials from the historical period, yes. But for the antediluvian kings, nothing. No artifacts, no DNA, no inscriptions outside the king list. The names are carved in clay. But the bodies are missing. The silence is not just absence, it is a wound in the record. The longer the reign, the deeper the void. The numbers demand bodies. The math cries out for proof. This is a mathematical impossibility. This is an anomaly and a terrifying glitch. Yet the sands of Iraq keep their secret. The kings are gone. The evidence is missing. And the list remains. An undeniable catalog of rulers with no graves, no faces, no trace. Only the numbers endure. The rest is shadow. Maybe the list is a hidden blueprint. Maybe it is a decoded log of lives that were not human. Maybe a cataclysm erased their bodies and left only dates. However, the pattern demands an explanation. It demands bodies. Where are they? The earth offers silence, and that silence feels like surveillance on our questions. The numbers are not fantasy. They are a blueprint etched in cuneiform and hidden in plain sight. But as AI cracks ancient codes, our idea of human history starts to glitch. The real danger is not what the Sumerians believed. It is what we refuse to see. But if kings once ruled for millennia, the question is simple: who or what is next?